team-based learning. What is it exactly, and why is it really cool? Team-based learning involves small, consistent teams of students working on collaborative projects throughout a semester. The instructor, rather than taking on lecturing as their main job, is more of a facilitator and encourages students to follow through on that topic. The other really important part of TBL is the IRATs and TRATs, as well as student accountability. IRATs and TRATs are a test that check that the students in the group understand the concepts that they need to use for their projects. For student accountability, at the end of each project, students rate each other on how well they have done, as a group, as an individual, and in general. Here's a simple graph of how the class time in a TBL class is broken down. Before class even starts, each student is responsible for looking at their own material and making sure that they have a decent understanding of the concepts. Once they're in class, they take the IRAT, which is the individual test, as well as the TRAT, which is the team test. Then they can respond to the instructor, and the instructor can add any supplemental lecturing that they need in order to be able to complete the project. The rest of the class time, either in that class or in other sessions, is used to complete the projects. Why does it work? In TBL, there's an emphasis on collaboration. Instead of one student struggling through the concepts on their own, they're allowed to work as a group so that they can supplement each other's understanding with their own. It's a flipped classroom style, so students are responsible for learning the subjects on their own at home, and then when they come into class, they're able to discuss them further and clarify any misunderstandings. TBL also encourages higher level learning. Things such as creation of projects, or whatever is the result of that TBL class, leads to higher understanding of the basic subjects. What is the relationship between team-based learning and STEM? TBL encourages differential methods of problem solving. Even in concrete subjects, such as math or chemistry, there are different ways of addressing a single problem. With TBL, groups can work together to find a way to solve a problem that may be very different from the other groups. TBL focuses on big picture learning. While the students go over the details of the subject at home, in class they are encouraged to think about the general idea of the topic they're learning. So, now that you know this, what do you do? These students are taking the IRAT, or Individual Readiness Assessment Test. This assesses whether the students fully understand the concepts that will be needed for their project. Now that the students have completed the IRAT, they move on to the TRAT, which is the same test, except they work together. This way, they can use each other's knowledge to help them to fill in their own blanks so that they are all, as a team, prepared to move on to the project. Now that the students have completed their tests, they move on to the project. The project is created by the professor and is the same project for all of the different groups. During class time, the students work together to complete the project, which results in either a paper or a visual display or some other type of work. This is a TBL classroom. It's not necessary for a TBL class, but it does come in handy because of some of the really cool features. So here, we have tables with laptops and built-in screens. That way, the students, independently, can project their work onto the screen for the whole group to see. In addition, because the room has many tables, groups can talk to each other, but still have their own individual space.